Hello, my name is Batu and I'll be guiding you through the cheapest and the most efficient way of growing and storing liquid culture at home. There's a lot of really expensive ways to do this and a lot of scams out there, but I'll be guiding you through the cheapest option with the cheapest materials and the most efficient materials that you're gonna need to do everything that I do right here. Now this is my small, what I like to call my fruiting chamber. I have all my bags, my liquid cultures here. Now, the liquid cultures will change in looks, but the procedure to getting what you want and getting the growth and the storage that you want in the jar is the same most of the time, unless you have a really different kind of strain of mushroom that you're trying to grow. But the procedure I'm going to show you will definitely work on all the liquid cultures that you have, as long as you're practicing good hygiene and you're using the right amount of materials that you need, the right amount of honey and everything. I'll guide you through all of that later in the video. Some of the things you'll need will be a 70% isopropyl alcohol bottle, and you're gonna need some papers or paper towels, but you can find that anywhere. Also some injection lids, you can find these anywhere, and I'll be linking these down in the description if you're interested in buying some. Some glass marbles, a pressure cooker, some raw honey, and a mason jar. Lastly, you'll be needing some distilled water that you can find in any of your supermarkets. Me personally, that's the only material I'm missing, so we'll be going to go get some distilled water from my supermarket right now. Come here, don't be shy. As you can see, we're at the market basket of who knows where, and we're gonna go get some materials for my mycology research of my liquid culture jar growth. And today you'll be coming with me to get some shit while interviewing people. Are you a happy person?
Yeah, I am.
Why?
Because I have a lot of things that make me happy.
Like?
My family, my friends.
My friends.
Friends?
Probably my friends in like summertime.
My friend.
As you can see, we're at Market Basket. We're about to get some distilled water. And what I like to go with is this. I don't know what this is. It just says distilled water, so I'm gonna just get it. We just got the distilled waters, and it took a while to get back home. So the audio was deleted while making this video, so I'll just be doing a voiceover of what I'm doing. As you can see, I'm cleaning the the container covers, the jars covers with 70% isopropyl alcohol. You really need to practice good hygiene while cleaning everything. And if you're not clean enough with the jars and you don't rinse everything through that are in the jar, you might end up with contaminants. So this part is very important. And make sure you give everything a good rinse before you pressure cook. But the pressure cooking will do most of the job with sterilizing everything. Now, I know you might be wondering where you can get your liquid culture and what kind of liquid culture you want. If you are looking for more information on liquid culture, my DMs are open. My DMs are open to liquid culture sales, and I have a variety of types, and some are magically only for microscopy research. So you want to be adding 4% honey by the weight. So what I have here is a 600 milliliter jar filled with distilled water. So I'm going to be adding about 6 teaspoons of honey. You also want to add the marble before or after adding the honey, because it helps a lot with the mixing process with the honey and the liquid culture. Another really important thing is when you're closing your jars and you're putting the lid on them, you cannot make the lid too tight or your jar will end up exploding in the pressure cooker. And that will just be a mess, and you don't want that. As you just saw, you need to put the aluminum foils over the jar's covers if you don't want to damage the injection port or the airflow little section there. And make sure when you're putting in the jars are not touching and they're evenly spaced. There's a lot of different ways to put them depending on how many jars you have, but just make sure they're not touching each other and they have enough space. For the water level, you don't want the water too high. A lot of the things I see people doing is they accidentally end up putting the water too high, and some moisture ends up getting in the jars, and that's not good because that might cause contamination. After the jars are in the pressure cooker and the pressure cooker is working, you want it to cook at 15 psi for at least 30 minutes. You don't want to cook too much, because if you end up cooking too much, you might damage the injection port or anything else. So 35 minutes is a safe place to be. After the pressure cooking, allow your pressure cooker to naturally cool down and reach the normal psi it was at before, and then open the lid, because any sudden change in the pressure might end up causing a crack on your jar, and that would be really bad, would cause you to restart the whole process. After opening the pressure cooker, make sure to allow your jars to cool down to about 80 Fahrenheit to 70 Fahrenheit. Anywhere between that is okay. And once you allow it to cool down, you can inject your jar with your liquid culture. Make sure that your hands are cleaned with 70% isopropyl alcohol, and your workspace and everything is cleaned with 70% isopropyl alcohol, especially the injection port and the needle that you're going to be injecting. This part is very important because you really don't want contaminants, and if you just wipe everything down with 70% isopropyl alcohol, you'll be fine and you'll be good to go. After you've injected your liquid culture into the jar, make sure you store your jar in a 70 to 75 Fahrenheit room temperature and a dark place. And after about a week or even a couple of days, you're going to start to notice that your liquid culture will be growing. And it's super easy to do this at home. And after a month or so, your liquid culture jar will be looking like this one right here. Make sure to mix your jar for about a minute every day, and for the best growth. This is not something you have to do, but it's something that is recommended and within the community. And thank you for watching my first mycology video.